Smith landing the hook there, so a bit of success. But Gallagher there, look, he said, look, you climb Mount Everest, you only have so much time at the top, so they took this opportunity, even though style-wise, maybe not the best chance here. But he's the champion of the world at 168, so when the middleweight champ and the money man comes knocking, Chris, you have to answer, and he did.
You have to. Fight was taken on 4 weeks' notice. Joe Gallagher told me, look, we'd love to have had a couple other weeks, but we wanted this fight. He believes his guy's in great shape, but you are seeing a great fighter in action in Canelo, dictating the pace, landing the bigger shots.
And again, I mentioned closing the gap in the first 2 rounds. 90, good right hand by Canelo, and he goes back to the body with the combination. 90% of the fight at distance in the first 2 rounds, and now 32% of the fight in close range. Canelo is moving forward, and he's landing, and he's making Callum Smith miss. Just a beautiful performance so far.
This is what Canelo does to opponents, even to big guns, even guys that punch real hard. They keep their guns holstered. They're afraid to throw shots because Canelo counters too quickly and too explosively.
Let's go back to Gareth Davies and Joe Calzaghe in London, fellas.
Yeah, but the 5th round was a better round for Smith. You know, he started throwing combinations. You can't do one-shot pot shots against Canelo because of his defense, and he can't back up. He just hold his ground, throwing combinations. He had a bit more success in the 5th.
He's trying again here, Joe, and this is much better. He's got to let his hands go now, isn't he? Because he's behind in the fight.
He does. He's back up against the ropes, and that's the worst thing against Canelo. It allows him to load up with big hooks to the body and the head. And
this is great stuff as well. This is great here. This is it. This is it. Back to you guys.
Gareth, Joe Calzaghe, thank you so much. Good to hear from the Hall of Famer. And Gareth, always good working with you back in London. And there's Callum Smith goes to work. Look, Callum Smith historically has a high work rate. He broke the CompuBox record for most jabs ever at 168 pounds. And the CompuBox numbers go back to 1985. He threw over 850 jabs in one of his fights. He broke Glenn Koff Johnson's record. Glenn Koff, former light heavyweight champion of the world, man who knocked out Roy Jones. So Smith is going to have to do that. He lands a jab there on Canelo and tries the uppercut. So a little more life in Callum Smith here in the 6th round.
Yeah, Callum Smith not only has a record for throwing a lot of jabs, but also landing a lot of jabs, along with Gennady Golovkin.
And this is when you have to show character. When it's not going your way, when it looks like the man in front of you is just better, stronger, more experienced, and Callum Smith is going to have to dig deep. Doubles up on the jab and misses. Final seconds of the 6th round. Callum Smith a bit more success, trying with more combination punching in that round. A past his prime Shane Mosley, Chavez Jr. Those are the 2nd-tier wins that I just listed, Chris Mannix, for Canelo. That's not even Triple G, Daniel Jacobs, Erislandy Lara, Austin Trout, Miguel Cotto. So that's what I mean with the championship level experience favoring Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah, really ever since Canelo was at 154 pounds, he has been willing to face the very best, from Lara and Trout all the way up to Golovkin, Cotto before that. He knows what it's like to be in these types of events, and he also knows what it's like to beat guys the size of Callum Smith.
You wonder if Callum Smith has the pop to drive Canelo back and do some damage. Sergio, it doesn't look like he's got that through 6 rounds.
No, he definitely has the pop. He just can't. He can't push Canelo back. This entire fight, we only seen Canelo coming forward. Callum Smith hasn't imposed his size or his will coming forward. Right now, it's all Canelo coming forward. Look at how he's cutting off the ring. No respect for Callum Smith.
Also, Sergio, nice uppercut there by Callum Smith. He tries with the hook. Good quick combination by Callum Smith, but the jab straight up the middle. Even when he blocked that right hand, there's a good uppercut from Canelo, it drove him back. Smith fights back off the ropes.
Whenever a fighter is walking down his opponent so easily like Canelo, it's because there's a lack of respect, because nothing's coming back. Right now, Callum Smith hasn't found any openings. He hasn't gotten respect from Canelo.
Gareth Davies, see right there, he gave Callum Smith the 5th round, and an even round. Hall of Famer Steve Smoger is with us. Steve, you don't see many 10-10 rounds these days.
I know commissions really discourage that, but on occasion a judge may do that.
but it's not recommended.
Hard body shot right there. It is 10-point must. You can score 10-10 to Steve's point. Thank you, Steve.
Yes, sir.
If you start to do that on a regular basis, and Chris, you're scoring a lot, you'll know you'll do half your rounds 10-10. You just have to make a choice. Final minute here of round number 7. Long jab there by Canelo. Uppercut from Canelo. And now he's able to start to pot shots. Smith is going to have to throw his hands, and he does right there.
Now it feels like the uppercut is coming back. And Gervonta Davis, vicious uppercut against Leo Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
Anthony Joshua, big uppercut and a knockout of Pulev. Last night, Gennady Golovkin landed his. Great weapon.
No question. I think Davis, Gervonta Davis uppercut on Leo Santa Cruz was a great fighter. You're right. That's like, wait a second. You can throw that punch like that? It's like a bazooka. It's amazing. Long right hand by Canelo, and he gets out of trouble. Sergio, I don't know if it's not a game plan for Callum Smith. I don't know if he has the game to win this fight. You know what I'm saying?
No, he has the game. He has the guns. It's just this is what Canelo. This is what makes Canelo great. He makes you not want to punch.
Another hard, bruising round for Canelo Alvarez.
Relax, relax.
Excellent counter puncher. He has the timing. He knows how to block and counter with the same hand. None of that is coming out of Callum Smith, and that's why Saul Alvarez is winning these quiet rounds.
When Callum Smith won the Ring Magazine title, he caught George Groves with a hook in the 7th round and then quickly finished him with a right hand. And then he had that electrifying U.S. debut on the same night that Anthony Joshua was shocked by John Ruiz. He knocked out Hassan Ndam. But Groves and Ndam are not Canelo. So I know what you're saying, Sergio. He can knock people out. It just doesn't look good for him here tonight.
He was able to drop George Groves with a counter right hand, and he was able to drop him with a catching counter left hook. Both hands are dangerous, but he's not letting them go.
Canelo has landed 50 power shots, 27 of them to the body. So you knew with the physical matchup, 6'3" and 5'8", he was going to go to the body. That was a body shot that he stopped Liam Smith. So of course he's going to the body, and effectively. That shot's blocked, but that right hand wasn't.
And we've seen this with Kovalev. He didn't throw no punches. We've seen this with Jacobs. He didn't throw enough punches. Golovkin.
Lead uppercut by Canelo, and then a right hand. You know what, Sergio? Canelo just provides such a tight package coming at you. And then when you throw a shot, if he's able to move or counter, it's just so difficult to beat him.
Counter punching, it really doesn't let you do anything. Even Chavez Jr., if you remember that, whitewash. He just stood against the ropes. Fast hands make you want to not punch.
Good combination there by Callum Smith. He gets a little more active, throwing his hands. Power punches so far. Nearly 2-1 for Canelo.
Look at that percentage. 60% of power punches landed for Canelo Alvarez.
Just missed that right hand. Doubling up on the right hand as well. Canelo looks comfortable. He is walking in. He is stalking and looks to walk down Callum Smith. Good right hand there by Smith. Canelo gets a little lazy walking in. He gets hit. And you're right. Look, he's just not showing respect now. He's taking shots and saying, "No, I'm going to keep walking in."
He rolled with that right hand. Canelo did.
Thudding right hand. Those shots blocked, but they're popping on each other, laying the wood to each other. And if they both do that, I think we know who's going to win that battle. Uppercut from Canelo. Brings the head up on Smith.
Canelo fighting with no fear.
Smith is very game. Eats a jab. Trying to figure this man out in front of him. But it's an awful lot to do. Tries with the uppercut. And now a longer jab. Coming up short with the right hand. Snapping jab by Canelo. He continues with his work rate. But he waits till he's in range. Nice right hand by Smith and an uppercut. But Canelo is able to get underneath the hook. Beautiful weave by the champion at 160. See, now most guys, Sergio, he lands those first 2 shots, he lands the 3rd. Not here.
Just, he continues to come forward, imposing his will and